This is Lemon's Car Spotting. You post to Instagram with the hashtag Lemon's Car Spotting. We pick the hooptiest.
They are so incredibly terrible.
And which one we want to become a real Lemons build.
It does car-like things. I've been pushing for one of those in Lemons too, and those are very affordable.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Lemon's Car Spotting. I am Eric, hosting with Mental this week. Judge Mental. How you doing, Judge Mental?
I am outstanding. Yourself?
Doing well. If you're new to this is how it works. You spot your things. You spot crappy cars on the street. You tag them with Lemon's Car Spotting on Instagram. We talk about them here. And each week we pick out one of the 10 that we want to be the Lemons build and one that we think is the absolute hooptiest. And each of us will pick one of those. And with our patented choosing method, Mental will determine which of the Lemons or hooptiest he's building. He's going to close his eyes and tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Left hand is up. That means Mental's picking the Lemons build. Let's see if I know how to operate this thing without further ado. We are in, and can I solo it? There it is. Look at that.
Oh, man. Now, as much as I like seeing this, I feel like your heart is all aflutter.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is a first-gen Ford Escort, the world car.
Yeah.
You know, the Escort had existed in Europe before this. So they built the Escort platform on which all Escorts would be, brought it to the United States. And this crap can was a staple of my particular family. We own 2 of these to cart 7 people around in.
And
so
Brett, yeah, I see this guy up in, that looks like an Illinois or a Wisconsin plate, and that thing is rust-free. And it's got the Euro light, so it's a later model of the world car.
Yes. Yeah. I would say this is like a 87, something like that.
That feels right.
Guess.
Yeah.
Brett's Boston Beaters spotting this. So this is probably in Massachusetts, which again, amazing that it's not rusted out. It's pretty immaculate.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't, man, they're just, these cars have come and gone, and as kind of all the 80s econoboxes have, you know, the Omni, the Chevette, the Escort. Fantastic piece.
Well done. Good spot.
Let's move on. Oh, yeah. This is totally up your alley now.
You're right. That's from the 8-time consecutive Formula One world champion Mercedes right there. Yes. Oh, yeah. My bet is it's a diesel, and I say that because it's plugged in. And, yeah, that's a beaut right there. That's probably a 300D.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Diesel, actually.
This is one of those great Lemons car spotting spots where the more you look at it, the more you notice. Yeah, the wires running out. The mismatched wheels, you know, the payment plan of aftermarket wheels happening.
Oh, absolutely. The rental. And there's the typical rust right there at where the fender's meeting the bumper, and a little bit over by the door, just under the mirror, at the same spot where the body cladding is, because that's where the moisture tends to go. And you can tell that this is a north, or at least used to be a northern car, because there's some crud in that inner fender well. And despite all that, that paint is actually in really good shape.
Yeah, boy, you know, that's an interesting point is for all of the Dodge Intrepids with the fading clear coat and the burn through paint of this era from everywhere else, you just don't see that on Mercedes cars, which means that they probably have about 800 pounds of paint on the car. So,
well, and that's lightweight compared to everything else on that car.
Yeah, fair point. Famously, you know, built like tanks, as they say. I think this is like a W124. Is that right?
That was, yes. And I believe that was the one where their famous commercial was the 2, you know, unholy stockbroking, you know, no soul guys having the conversation on the train. I do believe that's the best car in the world. Yeah, this was their, you know, when it was, you know, engineering above all else kind of a deal. Even the windshield wipers, if you'll notice, are in place on that car. Strangely enough, still has the TriStar for the longest time, especially in that era. They all got ripped off so kids could wear them around necklaces.
Yeah, man, I know. Well, I can't remember the last time I saw one with that intact. That's pretty. That's a good point. All right, let's move on. Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is. There's a lot happening there as well. This is, of course, like a.
The lesser known Transformer, the Chevy Impala, his tagline was, I got to get some warranty work done again.
Yeah, I mean, it's on 24s, 22s.
At least if those aren't 26s. Yeah.
Yeah, that's living large right there.
But he's a good guy because it says Autobots on the bumper, and that's important because in real Transformers world, all your GM guys are bad guys. Yeah, in the movies because GM sponsored them.
Here's the thing about Transformers. I've not seen any of the movies. Never was really into it as a kid. Do like the Transformers have superpowers or some manner of like special power when they're the robot form? And what would it be here?
Ooh, that's an interesting thing. I would say that they can shape metal. They can shape shift metal wise. They're really a lot more like the second Terminators with Robert Patrick.
I like it. Tell us in the comments, by the way, what would be the special characteristics?
What would be the Impalas? I'll accept that he's a good guy, but man, yeah.
There's also a part of me that hopes that, like this has scissor doors and the trunk lifts up like a slab and has something on the trunk lid on the underside,
I would, there's no way that as a minimum, he doesn't have a system in there that, whether or not you like their music, you're listening to it.
That's right. Yeah. That's pretty great. Well spotted Wasted Whips, who is excellent at car spotting, by the way. He shows up pretty regularly. And speaking of General Motors.
Dang. Oh, God.
Hey, mental. What kind of cars are those?
All right. So what we got is two consecutive generations of the mighty F body. And I want to say like the fourth gen and then the fifth gen, which was the termination of that run before they went to the new ones. I don't see that either one are Z28s. So the fourth gen looks to me about an 84, 85, clearly a V6, maybe a Rally Sport because it doesn't have the IROC wheels on it. And then just in front of it is that teal blue, fast food manager special V6 Camaro that, you can get for just $139 a month if you had a valid pay stub when that car was new, parked in front of it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Third and fourth gen, I think they are, but in the most incredible Camaro way possible, they put it on the door just so you can't miss that it's a Camaro.
And not even where the IROC would go. It's like one up. No, I'm sorry. That'll get smeared by snow and sludge there in Chicago. I needed to go up.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, how they're going to know it's a Camaro?
Yeah.
They are
also
T-tops. Yeah,
as they should be. I mean, what's the point of owning a Camaro if you're not going to have T-tops?
Exactly.
There's also a Del Sol parked across the street. That's a good spot there. And I believe elsewhere in this post on the street, Fritz Armstrong in Chicago spotted a Chevy Beretta Indy. So, man, this is like an all-star. Whatever this street is, this block is, there's a lot happening there.
Apparently he has 7 of these, according to Fritz. This is wonderful. I want to meet this person and buy him a case of Natty Light because there has to be great stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, man, theme's already done there. Got that going for you.
Yeah.
Oh, this is GM Superstars here. This is Cavalier.
Yes. That is. Oh. Yeah, and I this is just, bad decisions. Of course, they're going to spot this. This is wonderful, though, because I am noticing, again, just these throwaway Midwestern cars And these are like wonderful rust-free examples.
Yeah. I can't tell if that is a factory two-tone, if it's faded from being dirty and nasty, or if it's been rattle canned with bed liner or something there.
I believe that is some sort of add-on chrome reflective thing, because it looks like it's rusting on that rear door.
Well, of course it is. I mean, it's a General Motors product from 1987, but
the fender wells are in place, but you got to grab that Butterburger when you're in the Cavalier wagon. That's a nice
right.
job. Yeah.
That's a really good point, that this car in a Culver's parking lot is like the Midwestern pièce de résistance.
Had to find its way home. Yeah,
that's right. I like the tint too. It's kind of tint in the Steelies makes it extra dark. What do you
Somebody actually loves this car. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. What do you figure is stuck in the tape deck?
Ooh, that's a good one. Now, the easy answer is just, dig up whatever 80s heavy metal band there was. But I'm looking at that front rim, and I think I see a dent, which says to me, Night Ranger.
Night Ranger. Yeah. I was going to say...
Don't tell me you love me. Don't tell me you love me.
I was going to say Master of Puppets, but, maybe I'm giving them too much cred. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a fine machine. My sister had one like this in electric teal.
The same as that Camaro. Yeah.
Yeah. Exact same color. Well done.
It's fascinating to me. You talked about, these are the cars of our youth, and the generic disposable Japanese car, your Corollas and Datsun 510s, and, these things, they were disposable, they got thrown away, and now you can't touch one of these for under 10 grand. I would submit that a non-rusty Cavalier wagon is way more rare, and maybe you get $800 for it.
The nicest Cavalier wagon of this era is like a $3,500 car, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah,
and to a weirdo, to you, me, or like Myron Vertus. That's it. Those are the only people that care.
Yeah, agreed. Moving on. This is like the GM episode. So moving on to the Oldsmobile Aurora.
I believe that is the Aurora. The intrigue was its V6 powered twin, but this was them cashing in on that Indy 500 V8 marketing nonsense.
I think that there is this notion that the Aurora is a horrible car, and it is. Like, it is. But there is something to the Oldsmobile marketing of using the Aurora V8 as the basis for their Indy 500 car, because who in the world is going to the Indy 500? It's like 80% of the population of Indiana, which is also the same people who are buying Oldsmobiles. And therefore, it all kind of melds together.
And this became like the family look, because they were even doing the Bravada in that style, to look all futuristic and racy. Yeah,
they took the idea of the Taurus, the Jelly Bean Taurus, and just we're like, well, obviously we need more of that, and they kind of went nuts with it, down to the tail light that goes all the way across, the big bubble tail light.
And I love that it's the tail light, the unobtainium tail light, that's all intact, but the door smashed in, and clearly it has been parked there before the snow came because they have mowed around it.
Yeah, 100%. And this is in Eastern Washington, regular on this show, Eastern Washington car spotting, finding this thing, which is amazing that it's in Washington, but I will go ahead and guess this car started its life in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The wheel game, still pretty good from GM there. Has obviously hit every panel on the car at some point. So, yeah. Now, famously, we did have one of these in Lemons at the very first Lemons race. Car and Driver brought an Oldsmobile Aurora in 2006. It was a 7-year-old car at the time, so they got the initial people's curse, and the car got crushed, which we don't do anymore, by the way. 24 Hours of Lemons, that's part of the past. But it was hilarious that in retrospect that people looked at an Oldsmobile Aurora as just flaunting the $500. In retrospect, nobody at this point in time would bat an eye at one of these things that showed up in lemons. In fact, we haven't had one since.
No, they wouldn't even bat an eye. In fact, you would be very popular. Bring a cooler because it's getting full of beer because everybody wants to come talk to you about it.
Yeah, 100%. Moving on.
My goodness.
Shay Smith out of Texas. Yeah.
I believe the base of this looks, I'm reading the thing now, but it says second gen Toyota Supra. Or the Celica. I initially was going to say without line Pro, but no, they're 100% right. And what? There's so much to unpack here. Why? Yeah. Why would you do this?
Yeah.
But if you're going to do it, at least keep it in that good of shape.
Yeah, I mean that's the weird thing is you think about these fiberglass kit cars and how long does it take till one of that? I mean, the first time you hit anything on the road like a pebble, it totally ruins the fiberglass. This thing looks like it's entirely intact, which is bizarre.
And clean and like the fiberglass. It's not like Houston is known for its smooth roads.
Right.
They've got expansive soils, but they've managed to not like shake this thing apart. That is really impressive there.
Whatever this kit is, somebody find it and graft it onto like a 73 Celica or whatever this is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a later Celica. The more I look at the hood line, like the 84-ish.
But that the angle of that rear, that quarter window still makes me think, 84. Yeah, it still makes me think the 22R powered rear drive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would be really easy to mistake a 22R powered Supra for a Ferrari F40. So this is the picture of aspirational thinking in the automotive world right here. This might go beyond the Fiero Rari concept here.
Yes,
it's pretty spectacular.
And of course, we can thank Shay for the reference to the J.C. Whitney kit or J.C. Whitney. That was the again, people of our age. That was where you bought everything. That's
where the parts come from for this fine machine. All right, well, let's move on. Somebody's working. Ooh. Look at that. Damn. Oh,
yeah. Dang. And that's it's a Honda or a Yamaha V-Star he's got there. And it's the big V-Star, so it might be the Tour Star, which we don't care about the bikes. This isn't bike spotting. That is a painfully clean Eldorado. Wow. Yeah. Right down to he's even got the slotted, like they're not slotted mags. They were steel wheels with center caps and beauty rings. But a lot of times immediately those got thrown away and upgraded to something nicer. But this person kept them.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything happening here is good. These were, depending on the year, it might have been the 500 cubic inch V8, which will tow a motorcycle, I'm pretty sure, without a whole lot of difficulty.
Transverse, it's a front driver. So you had that flat floor all the way across, too.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the big selling point was it has the longitudinally mounted V8 with like a chain drive to the front wheels. It's all very 1960s. Boy, the Japanese are doing this. We could do this too. And doing it. I mean, it was probably more based on the Cord, CORD.
Well, and it was probably like the engineer guy said that, and then Zelensky, who's going places, went, No. We sell it as a flat floor luxury.
I mean, there's some appeal to that. As the middle child or the youngest child, I usually had to sit in the middle over the drive shaft hump in the Jan B-body wagon. So I get it. You want to ride for hours with your knees at chin level. I get that. As you should do here. Moving on. Oh yeah, spot from the GD Yo man, Johan.
Yes.
Looks like an
And of course,
early.
it's in Arizona. They drove it
Yeah.
there when they retired there a few years ago.
Yeah, boy, there's looking at this, the fake wood on it, it actually mostly lines up, which is kind of incredible because it doesn't take long for those usually to start sagging and then not lining up. So, I mean, the
Yes.
door hinges are still holding up in this pretty remarkably well cared for, like a early K car convertible there.
Now, of course, the Yo Man, he's down there in Arizona, but those are Nevada plates.
Aha. Somebody's out for an excursion. Look at that.
Exactly. They're going down to visit their sister who moved there a couple of years ago, This,
Yeah.
I'm going to go on a limb and say this is the original owner, too. That car is too loved.
Yeah, I would say so. One of the really interesting things about this, and I wish more Lemons cars raced with these, is the luggage rack on the trunk. Just perfect. I can't. That would be a really good question. Also, that's good Judge Phil level of trivia. But what was the last car with a factory optioned luggage rack on the trunk? If you know, put it in the comments. But man. The depth of option sheets, it's got to be a General Motors product, because basically the Buick Century through 1996 was tended entirely to sell to old people who want things like a luggage rack. So
Chrome.
That would be my guess.
Absolutely. Yes, that is fantastic. And I remember seeing my dad worked at a Datsun and then Nissan dealer, and there was a lot of dealer installed options with those. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the last one here. And boy.
Is that a Jetta wagon or is that a Daewoo? Okay, Volvo. Oh, that's one of your people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is an early V-Wagon, early 2000s V-Wagon, the precursor to my car. I was thinking Accord at first blush. I don't know why, but boy, they like Star Wars. Maybe a little too much,
or not enough, because I see the BB-8 on the dashboard and the R2D2, or on the roof and the R2D2, but a lot of this is made up. Right? What's that emblem on the side? And then what's really neat is they feel like this rolling piece of artwork is worthy of your support, and there's a donations box on the side. That's
pretty great. And there's what I really want to know is what the sheet of paper on the passenger side window says, because I think that's probably pretty illustrative of whatever the hell is happening here. People haven't really ventured into running this era of Volvo and Lemons. They get a little complicated, but this is a little, I think these were 4-cylinder turbo.
Yeah. I think turbo was an option. And then a lot of them, I think, didn't we see a sedan version at Autopod?
Yeah, we've seen S40s and 60s and 80s here and there, but not a ton of them. I don't know. Maybe that's the magic bullet, but whatever's happening here is pretty great. Boy, that takes us, I think, at last to our awards for the week. I will start with the hooptiest, and then we'll move on to your pick for the one we most want to see in Lemons. Kind of hard to not pick. I mean, look at that thing. How is that not? That speaks to the level of hoopty. Intentionally, I'm kind of lost for words. This is the weirdest thing that exists.
It is hoopty that transcends decades, and it even transcends the term hoopty. It was hoopty before they had a word for it.
That's right. Yeah. I think I'm going to stick with that. What are you thinking, Mental, for the Lemons build?
And I know I'm departing the format here. I would love to see one of those LeBarons on a Lemons rally, that town and country wood paneling, even if you had to make it. Yeah. But that's not the point here. If you want to clean up, bring that Mercedes diesel.
Ooh.
It won't finish, and it has to stay diesel.
Yeah. There we are.
Don't go weak sauce and LS swap that puppy. No. Bring that thing. And yeah. See, yeah.
Yep. Mercedes diesels, great, terrible cars. Certainly not fast, but man, they just look stately and comfortable, and you can drive them through a brick wall, I'm pretty sure, especially, add a little bit stiffening with the cage. There you go.
As long as you have no vacuum leaks, you'll be fine.
Well, as we'll see when we get to the next Lemons Rally wrap up, that there are ways to work around the vacuum leak, but you can look for that one in a future Lemons wrap up from the Southern Fried Heaps Lemons Rally. I think that's going to do it for us here on Lemons Car Spotting. So be sure to tag your stuff, #Lemons Car Spotting, and get yourself a Mercedes and build it for lemons.